Well, hi there, everyone. We have a different camera setup now. If you're wondering what this here is, this is a old BMW E46 318. Now, why I haven't made any videos except that one little short. I haven't been able to use this car for 2 years. Now, you would ask yourself, why? Well, reason is the engine doesn't run. It runs like hell. Like it's literally just an endless money pit. Now, why now? This question. Why now? Bring up the topic. Really easily. I have to pay motor vehicle tax for this vehicle. I can not use. I would love to use it. I mean, this is one of the few E46s that isn't a total rust bucket. That doesn't has very minimal, almost no rust. Usually these E46s are notorious for rusting from rare wheel wells, front wheel wells, fenders, everything. Also the door underneath the doors, it's fairly rust free. Like I've never seen really the ones I've seen, they're horrible. But the problem is the engine doesn't run. It runs, but it has certain misfires on cylinders. I'll list what I've done. I've had 5 electricians look at this car. None of them haven't been able to determine. The last guy said you have a bad mass airflow sensor, but that really, I mean, if I unplug the mass airflow sensor, it's very slightly runs better, but the misfire on the cylinders still continues. So it cannot only be the mass airflow sensor, there has to be something else going on. I'm gonna put some clips where this vehicle runs and the fault codes I have found. If I plug the mass airflow sensor back, no fault codes except for the oil level sensor, which is bad. Well, but that shouldn't affect anything. But there's a lot of BMW guys and gals out there. If you can determine out what's wrong with this engine, the engine part is the only reason why I can't use this vehicle. It runs, but it has barely any power to move on its own. So, and this isn't just like one cylinder. This keeps going from bank 1, which is number 1 and 3 cylinder. Then it's like, for some short time, you can hear all 4 cylinders running, and then again, one of them is a dead mess. So I don't know what's going on. I mean, if you know anyone who's could determine, you would ask, well, why not use, all I have is these hand scanners. I have a pirated program that doesn't work. I haven't been able to get it working ever. So pirated programs are kind of a waste of money, in my opinion. Or as the problem is, I don't know how to use them because all the computers I have, they wouldn't run on any of them. I tried everything, but no, I couldn't get that program to run ever. The only computer that it ran was the old Windows XP, but that computer was so slow it would not communicate with the car. It would just randomly, stall or randomly disconnect. So that was almost impossible to use to read any live data from this. The last thing I want to mention is this car had timing issues, meaning that the timing would always retard out on bank 1, which is the intake side. Now you would ask, well, maybe the Vanos is bad. I have a second set of Vanoses and would do the same thing again. Now I have the cleaned original Vanoses inside, and it has stopped doing this. But what I did notice the last time it ran, the secondary air pump, which is used to, preheat the exhaust, wouldn't turn on at all. I could turn it on manually from the car when I had the program working, but when I start the car, it doesn't do anything. So I don't think we have a bad secondary air pump here. I think this is a multitude of programs because it all started the day that the guy who last owned it didn't do the timing chain replacement. I had to do it. After that, it ran for a while, and then one day I was driving around the town and the car would start to stall and had very low power on first gear. And I crawled back home, and from there I went actually to the BMW service because for some reason the EVS decided to go bad. So they fixed that, and later uh, they told me that the camshaft eccentric sensor is good, but the eccentric shaft is bad. So I bought a almost $1,000 part, and the car still doesn't run. Okay, so it's not it wasn't, well, mechanically that thing was worn, but that would not explain the timing retarding. I think there's something else going on here, but I'll put everything into the description and you decide. I mean, the last thing we're gonna do is probably just haul it to scrapyard and that'll be it. But I hate to, send a car to scrapper that actually is good body-wise, but just has these electrical gremlins that nobody can sort out. I mean, if you ask me, I hate all German cars equally. That's doesn't matter what brand they are. They're at some point they just bad. The old ones, good. Everything after the year 2000, no, not for collectors and enthusiasts. But okay, talks aside, I'm gonna put this video together, and if you know anyone who's a BMW expert, let me know. I'm sure there's a lot of BMW guys and gals out there who can actually figure out, or at least tell me, because I hate throwing money at a vehicle and then find out it still doesn't run. New lambda sensors, the new mass airflow sensor are not cheap if I'm going to buy them from the BMW dealer. But this is the one thing. I don't want to throw money at something and just in hopes that it works. And yeah, I guess that was be it. I mean, or else let me know what to do with this thing. Maybe we should just have it crushed, or I don't know. You tell me, because I'm kind of out of ideas, and the last time I had to repair this, I really burned out with this vehicle 100%. So if I'm going to do it this time, I want to be certain that I know what I'm doing. So you can all watch the clips now, and there's a last video recording in the end. So hope you enjoyed, and let me know what the plan should be or what the faults could be. So enjoy. Here's a video I didn't want to make, but definitely looking for some help with this BMW N42 engine. Uh, Typical problem, overfloods when it's below zero. Like sometimes it doesn't, but most of the time it fires up and then chokes on itself shortly after, and you can't get it started anywhere. The plugs are full. Now let me just tell you, when we pull out the spark plugs, all the spark plugs are, flooded. You can see that there's too much fuel. It does have new injectors, new Valvetronic sensor, new Valvetronic motor, new Valvetronic, what's it called? It's a camshaft or eccentric shaft with all the hardware and all the new other things. It has new Vanos solenoids. It has, I don't know, like I was thinking, you know, because it's always the bank 1 that gives the error codes. That's kind of suspicious. Like, why is it doing it cold? It never does it, you know, when it's above 0. So that kind of tells me two things: whether we have a bad temperature sensor somewhere, or we have bad lambda sensors on the catalyst converters. Now there's two converters and two sensors. One is for bank 1 and one is for bank 2. Bank 1 is the problem child here. So bank 1 is cylinder 1 and cylinder 4, but the other ones work. And when it starts up, it actually, when it gets warmer, it you know, sounds better. But when it's cold, it's almost misfiring on two cylinders. So to me, it seems there is some oddity going on. I don't think it's the camshaft sensors, because I've replaced them and I've switched them over. Doesn't make any difference whatsoever. So there's something going on. I don't know, like, if you let me know in the comments what you think we should do with this thing. Maybe, I don't know, I have two options. Either I fix it or it's going to straight to the crusher, because these engines are notoriously bad. This vehicle is usable if I could figure out why this engine doesn't run. Like, this is one of the reasons why I've never done any videos on this, like longer videos. There will be a longer video, but definitely there's some strange things going on here, like things that seems to be rather electrical problems, not mechanical problems. I know about the Vanos units; those need good oil pressure. This engine has decent oil pressure, despite, you know, it had timing chain failures. All is cleaned. There's new chain, new rails. Everything is new, and it did run after that very good for a while. And now we have some quirky electrical issue. Now, the last thing I would suspect is this ECU that's under the battery tray. But for that to go bad, I don't know. If somebody has any guesses, because when I pull the fault codes out, it only shows misfire on cylinder 4 and 2. But I don't know, maybe we need some OEM programs to look at this. I don't know. Like, if you have any idea what to do with it, let me know, because I'm kind of thinking about there's 3 ways we can go with it. Either we really fix this, or I fix this rather. Number 2 option is it's going to the crusher. Number 3 would be just a parts car for something else, or we just go and buy a vehicle that has the 6-cylinder in it, and we just swap everything over and get rid of this 4-bagger once and for all. Yeah, that's the options I have left. So I don't know. Let me tell in the comments what should we do with it, or what actually would be the problem, or where to look for. Or if you know someone who's an expert, let me know as well. All comments welcome. So see you around soon.